Thank you. Well, children are targets for predators, and as adults, of course, it's our responsibility to make sure they're safe. If your child is out of your sight for just a few minutes, would you know what to do for help? News 10's Judy Gatson is live at Woodland Park, where investigators are giving out free child ID kits. Hi, Judy.
Hey everybody, we are live at Woodland Park today talking about protecting our children. You know, no parent wants to admit it, but it has happened to all of us. We lose sight of our children even briefly and panic sets in. And protecting our children, honestly, is something that we should always be thinking about, but especially this time of year when the bad guys are looking for easy targets.
Especially during the holiday season that's coming out, people in the stores, they're shopping, and the child is kind of lagging behind. We let them know, let that be your first priority, because you have predators out here that are looking for that stray lamb to kind of be leading behind, and that's when they'll take the child.
Now, you know, we hope that you, of course, never have to deal with that kind of a nightmare, but the best defense is make sure that you are prepared. We've got Agent Lance Adams here with us from the Youth and Gangs Unit with the Columbia Police Department. Agent Adams, thank you so much. And we got the kids playing behind us. You know, the parents know where they are. Their kids are safe and sound. But no matter what you're dealing with, it could be an abduction or a kidnapping. Even if your child is lost, it can really put panic into a parent's heart.
Yes, it truly can. The first thing that happens as soon as a parent realizes that their child is lost, it's like mass hysteria.
Exactly. So we want to give some of the key steps in that first 24 hours. One thing is report it to law enforcement immediately. Some people think that there's a waiting period, but that's just not true.
No, the sooner the better. The longer you wait, it actually kind of increases the chances of not finding the child in a timely manner. So you want to, as soon as possible, you seeing that your child is missing, whether or not you don't know, whether they just went around the corner, or they're in the backyard in a hiding space, you want to immediately tell law enforcement about it so we can immediately get on and try to find the child.
And something other parents might not think about, limit access to your home because you don't want to compromise any evidence possibly there. But also make sure that you give the investigators all of the information, all of the circumstances. Don't be afraid and hold anything back.
That's exactly right. A lot of parents become embarrassed because they may say, well, we don't want to tell law enforcement, well, I went to the mailbox to get something, or I went to my car, went to the backyard. This is pertinent information that we need, because the more that we get as law enforcement, the more we can narrow it down to where your child is and finding them safe and sound.
And you also need a detailed description of what your child was wearing, sometimes hard for parents to remember that, and make a list of their acquaintances and friends. Right. Sometimes parents have a hard time putting that information together.
That's correct. You always want to make sure you know what your child is wearing, where they're going, who they're with. You have to be that nosy parent, as when a lot of us came up, your parents wanted to know where you was at, who their parents was, who their mother was, who they was involved with, who they was employed with. So you have to be a nosy parent. You have to know what your child is wearing. So as soon as we come, if there's a incident where your child is missing, we can have as much information as possible, not only what they're wearing, but who their acquaintances is, so we know exactly where to start.
Very good. Agent Adams, thank you so much. Coming up a little bit later, Agent Adams is going to talk to us about the CPD ESCAPE Program and how kids, literally physical moves that they can do to try and escape from would-be attackers. Much more on protecting our children here on WIS from Woodland Park and also on WISTV.com.